we've had a bit of a political crisis in Northern Ireland, and that has had a real impact in terms of accountability, oversight, in terms of the budget. The previous budget was set in Westminster, as opposed to being set in Northern Ireland. So really a key focus of our work has been about campaigning for, firstly, we want more money to go into education as a whole. Secondly, we want a review of the AWPU to ensure that is fairly distributed. And thirdly, we want to ensure that there's funding for every child, an appropriate amount of funding to meet their needs, whether it be special educational needs or otherwise. There must be enough money for every child to have the education that they're entitled to. So a key issue for us over the past year has been the ongoing impact of industrial action on schools and on our members. There are 5 main teaching unions in Northern Ireland. The other 4 unions have been, well, effectively on industrial action really for the past 7 years, and this has had a significant impact. So we've been engaged in different talks and negotiations to try to look at workload in particular as to how that impasse can be broken. Another key issue that's come up for us in the past year has been incremental pay increases for principals and vice principals in Northern Ireland. We were made aware in October of 2017 that principals weren't getting their increments paid, principals and vice principals. And we had a series of exchanges with the Education Authority, who confirmed that there were 87 principals who hadn't received what they were entitled to. So we did a series of campaigning against the towards the Education Authority to try to compel them to ensure that payments were received. And we've just recently received assurances from the Director of Education in the Education Authority that those payments will be paid, and he's going to apologise to the vice principals and principals, and I think he's largely cited the intervention of NAHT in showing that really what was quite in the grand scheme of things, it's a small amount of money for them, but certainly the gesture for our particularly new vice principals and new principals who are maybe at the beginning of their scale, I mean, the implications are huge.